I'm just waiting for the whole thing to go live. All
All
right.
right, looks like we're having a fireside chat here.
Nice. I'm wondering if Sarah's baking brownies for us.
Don with us?
Don's
We
right here.
do.
Yep.
Yes.
Wait for the whole thing to go live.
All right, now I've got to get off this.
It says you've been live for a little while now, up in the
Yeah.
corner. It's on my screen.
Right. It was doing this weird flash thing. Madeline, is Judy coming?
Not
No, okay. All right, great. Then I believe we are all here. Hi, Warren. Don't forget to unmute everybody. All right, it's 7:01 and I would like to call this meeting to order. We will skip the Pledge of Allegiance and go right to the approval of minutes and the town clerk report.
So the acceptance of the 8:20 minutes and the town clerk report.
So moved.
On the minutes, on the last page, I didn't know what the second to last, third to, I don't know, fourth to last paragraph. Councilman Tay suggested game cameras. What's a game camera?
Like a hunting camera to strap to look to catch license plates when you guys are talking about tires.
Okay, is that what that's called?
I should
Been
really call it
activated.
like a hunting camera. I can't remember what you said, Rory. Was it a game camera or a portable camera or?
The game camera, yes.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Okay,
game
all right.
camera.
And then on the next paragraph, Jones also encouraged the public not to approve, but to support
Okay.
at-home testing. Otherwise, I would, did somebody move to accept the minutes?
We did.
Don
with
did,
that-
yeah.
With that alteration, I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay. And then the bills, the approval of the bills.
Let me do that.
Oh, sorry.
So now I just actually have to ask for approval of the bills.
Okay, so it's general bills number 17879 through 17889. Highway bills number 17867 through 17878. And the water district bills 2978 through 2980.
I have a question on the Survey Monkey bill. That seemed a lot to pay for the Survey Monkey. I know it's for a year. Do we need it for a year?
Sarah, the committee offered to pay for it. So they will be paying for it. We do have to keep it for a year because Survey Monkey won't let us just do it for 2 months.
I don't think the committee should pay for it. I mean, why should you go on a committee and have to pay for your survey?
They offered to do that. We
I
can't,
don't know.
all right, well.
And it seems, that seems like an unnecessary thing to have somebody serving on a committee have as a,
Yeah.
whatever,
What it did was it allowed us to tally the survey results way more easily without having to do it by hand. So I am happy to relieve them of that offer.
I don't know how anyone else feels about it.
Can you remind us of what the total amount is for the?
It was over $400.
Yeah, $415. And we will have it for a year. If we
Now,
want
there was another problem with that bill, which was there was an automatic renewal on the bottom of it. That I'm not in favor of an automatic renewal of that bill.
for the Survey Monkey.
Yes,
Okay, well, we'll check on that and get rid of that.
okay.
Um,
But I mean, I'm cool with it, but I just think that committee members don't have to pay for surveys. It's like,
No, I agree with you, but they did offer in case, we just didn't know what the price was gonna be. We didn't know.
I mean, we have the money to pay for that. I mean, it's
We do, yeah.
not a problem.
Okay.
Does anyone else have an opinion about it?
I would make the motion that we reimburse them or pay for it out of our contingency budget.
Okay.
All right.
May I interrupt for a moment? It's Alice.
Hi, Alice.
Hi. Dara, I need permission to record as a co-host.
I have it recording, Alice.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. And in regards to the Survey Monkey, the price will be a little lower because I filed a tax exempt form with them. So we will save, I don't know, $40 or so, $35, $40 in tax. And I am well aware of the renewal date, and I will make sure we do not renew it unless we need to.
All right,
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
That was there was a big repair, another big repair, Heather, right? There was another big repair of one of your
Yes,
vehicles where they kept tearing it apart and it got worse and worse and worse and worse.
yep, that's the one I told you about last month that we
Yeah,
would be seeing the
yeah,
bill for.
yeah,
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 that was
Yeah,
our
that
loader.
stuff is very, very costly, and it's stuff we should probably try to avoid, maybe, I don't know. I mean, equipment's really costly too, so
Yeah.
it's a trade-off.
Yeah, no, that was the heating and, well, I can talk about that in my highway report if you'd like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get through. I think we have a motion on the table to approve paying for the Survey Monkey. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. All right. Sarah, is there anything else on the bills? Did we move to pass the bills?
No,
No, okay.
I would move that we accept the bills as submitted.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Madeline.
We might have the clerk's report to do as well, perhaps, if we haven't already.
Oh, she
Oh,
did.
we did that.
Yeah, we did that.
We did that with the minutes.
All right. Supervisor statement. It's September 17th, 2020. Many thanks are due this month to donors and volunteers in Pine Plains. Once again, please thank Lenny Liberta when you see him for donating the dumpsters for Town Cleanup Day. He has done that for us every year so far, and all day people thanked us for the service. This is Vinny's Oscar night, and he worked really hard organizing people with a band of the class of 2021 seniors who were equally awesome, cheerful, and willing volunteers. We were able to pick up unwanted items from more than 10 homes of people who had no way of getting them to the highway yard. But the day before this, on 9/11, 8 stalwart flag bearers climbed Stissing Mountain and the fire tower to hang a 20 by 48-inch flag from the tower. John Blackburn, Matt Zick, Matt Cade, Joe Schmidt, Tyson Clay, Mike George the Younger, Mike Cooper, and Mark Frenzel. I've often been passed by Joe Schmidt when climbing the mountain. I'm panting and ambling. He's striding up there with half a tree trunk in his arms. Bravo, everyone, and thank you again. It was an amazing sight. John Hughes and I have begun work in earnest on the requirements for the Police Reform and Modernization Collaborative with the county. Last weekend, we had our community meeting online with members of the county task force. People were allowed to speak for 3 minutes with ideas for reform. Very few actually spoke, which is a little bit disappointing, but maybe more will attend future meetings. If you have an idea, you can get on one of these calls and present it. Information is at dutchessny.gov/police reform. And I have put this on the Facebook page a few times now. There will be a lot of different meetings over the next month. And when you go to that website, you can find out the times and dates. Our big project is to go back. The question of how many years we have to go back is a little up in the air. Some of the supervisors are telling me 50 years. and maybe Warren, you know better than I do about that, but 50 years is the number I got. In our records to track race issues and emergency responses in policing. We are putting together a stakeholders committee of community members right now to review our relevant policies. And I really look forward to working on this with everybody. Every other Tuesday, I take part in a Zoom call with other town supervisors of rural towns for a pattern for progress study on the needs of towns like Pine Plains. I have to say, it's been a really rewarding experience for me, and this research group has a lot of influence on state government. So when I bring up our challenges like broadband for everyone and affordable housing, there's actually someone listening who's taking this up to Albany with not only just a complaint, but recommendations for how to fix what's going on. And that's the work that they do. Our broadband committee has sent out the broadband survey, which I want to urge everyone to fill out. This will help the town find funding to extend high-speed internet service to the entire town. I've discussed this at length in my newsletters and on Facebook. There's a new stack of surveys at the library if you want to do this on paper. Either leave them there at the library, although you need to bring it home to do your speed test, but or you can bring it out to town hall. I have a box outside. The census is also something you should fill out. The county is at 66%, but Pine Plains is still at 50%. And what that means to the town is actually that our federal aid is in jeopardy because we need to have accurate numbers to get the aid. It doesn't matter if you vote or pay taxes here. If you live here, you can fill out the census, and this helps the town directly to receive enough aid to make improvements and pay for emergencies. It's imperative that we get the most accurate numbers in this regard. Pine Plains does not have the revenue streams that other towns have, and we depend on sales tax and the state and the federal government for a lot of our funding. And speaking of funding, the tentative budget will be available online and in Judy's office for perusal as of September 30th. Any tax increase should be offset by new buildings coming onto the tax rolls, which will help pay the overall tax amount to be raised. If your assessment went up this year, it does not mean your taxes will go up. They may even go down a little. We also received our rebate on the new energy efficient heating and cooling systems in the assessors and building inspectors offices. Central Hudson sent us $5,325, which was a pleasant surprise. That brought the cost of replacing the old inefficient units down to a little over $6,600. And they'll save energy costs as well. So I thought that was a pretty great deal. And that is the news from Pine Plains.
I just want to point out that the census is not a political undertaking at all. And we had a wonderful census worker who was at our cleanup day. And some people had the wrong idea that you had to be a voter to fill out the census. No, everyone, whether you're a voter or not, whether you're a citizen or not, you should fill out the census. It's terribly important to have an accurate count. Only helps the town.
Yeah, that was surprising.
And Dara, I'm sorry. Stan just came in and he said people can't find the Zoom meeting on the internet.
It's live.
Just reporting.
Okay. It says it's live. Let's see. I will just check. Nope, it's live somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Let's see, you know what? Let me see if I can get. Alice, I don't know if that's something you can work on because it's kind of connected through my computer. But I also don't know what the URL is.
I'm looking and I'll get back to you.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, on to public comment. I actually have a small stack of comments. Did anybody else get any? All right, the first one was from a gal who is a retired public health administrator who is urging us to create a, I don't know if we would call it a committee to promote testing in Pine Plains. And she feels that even though the legal framework formally only puts public health activity with the state and county health departments, there's a good deal of residual space for any town to set up its own problem-solving entity. If not an officially recognized board of health, then at least a public health commission or committee to provide advice, information gathering, and focus for any measures you might wish to pursue on behalf of the town. And she's suggesting that our pharmacist be on the committee, maybe a public health nurse from the high school. Anyway, it's an, I thought it was an interesting idea. And then I got an email from the county that there is a gathering of supervisors and mayors that is going to be looking at emergency response policies for just this kind of situation, should it happen again. But I was wondering if this interested anybody and if you thought we should go ahead and look at it.
I mean, can you send us the letter so we can see?
Sure.
I got a copy. I got a copy of the letter. I don't know if anybody else did. It's from
the
Sharon
background
Kroger.
information.
Sharon Kroger. Yeah, it might, if you got a copy, it must have been from me, so it's the town board.
Yeah, it was in their background material.
Right, okay, great.
Oh, or else, no, it was, and I think it was in the mailbox.
In the mailbox, okay.
Yeah, I think that's right.
All right.
In the mailbox, yeah.
The thing, a group, that type of group could be of assistance in terms of education around the virus issues, which
Yeah.
is certainly useful. It's certainly very, very useful. And for instance, you know, a lot of people are indicating that everyone should have a flu shot this winter, particularly, even if you don't have one usually. The doctors are saying you should have a flu shot. You know, it's a possibility of getting more accurate information, scientific information out to the public.
Yeah. Well, why don't everybody read the letter when you find it, and then we can kind of continue this discussion at the next board meeting or at the workshop meeting and see if it's something we want to put in place. And in the meantime, I'll participate in the emergency response meeting that the county's conducting and see if they overlap in any way. Then, oh, I just wanted to address this. Somebody wrote, because she was worried that she had seen a flatbed trailer with a large plastic container on it filling up the plastic container with water from the hydrant across from the firehouse. And she was worried that she pays for her water usage. What is the protocol for this?
Yeah, but didn't we talk about this a few weeks ago when Don, like they were spraying or something like that, and Ray said that it was okay, they had a contract, I thought.
This is different.
It's a different person.
It's a different thing, but in truth, I called up Brian Walsh, and indeed it was from the fire department. It's a funny looking truck, and it's used for fighting brush fires. So all is good there. Um,
Actually, just for the board members and for the public, so if someone wants to take water from one of the hydrants or from the water system, such as Department of Transportation from time to time, Dutchess County DPW from time to time, or that spraying company, they actually notify the water department ahead of time. And we record what the usage is, and then we actually do send bills out. But because again, that is considered an authorized use. If we don't know about it, then that would be considered unauthorized. So in case you do see someone other than the fire company utilizing it, by all means, please contact the water department if anyone sees anybody doing that.
Great, okay. Thanks, Ray.
Sure.
The next public comment kind of segues into our town attorney phase of the meeting. And that is a question about the designated or undesignated road off Britain behind the high school that's technically called Chestnut Road. And we had an inquiry about that. And we discussed this at the last meeting about trees that had fallen during the last storm.
I don't know if it's legal.
And
It's not gonna open again.
So the question was, what is that road? What are we doing with it?
Is it a real road that we are recognizing for?
Well, Warren, can you kind of revisit this with us? Or I can read what you sent me if you want.
It's not a real road.
It's actually,
Warren, you need to unmute yourself.
We don't hear you.
let's see.
Okay, sorry. I think that's Chestnut is one of the streets in the Pine Plains Estates old subdivision.
Yes,
So I did do a memo on that, and I sent it. I don't know, it may have gotten screwed up because I don't think Dara got it, but I
I
did.
got it.
Yeah, I sent it to to
I
Heather. And
forwarded it to everybody, yeah.
Yeah, and I explained the situation. So basically, it's an old subdivision. We have a subdivision map, it's on file. And it looks like the intent was that there were supposed to be roads, town roads or public roads separating the lots within the subdivision. And there were several streets that were identified on the subdivision, Woodside Street, Willow Street, Chestnut Street, and Britton Street. It is my understanding, Heather, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the town does maintain those roads as town roads?
The town maintains the paved roads that are back there, not Chestnut. It's not a
Oh,
road.
Chestnut is not a paved road?
No,
No, that's the
Oh,
whole
okay.
problem. That's,
Oh, okay, that's the problem. Oh, so there's a road, I didn't
Chestnut-
understand that.
Yeah,
Chestnut is a dirt road?
It's a paper road.
undeveloped.
It's
It's
a paper road. It's a
No road.
paper road.
Yeah, no, it's right, but it's a,